Welcome to the Giraffe Brewery. This is Dr. Chris Baker, DC. Today I'm going to give you a highlight of my tournament at XPDC 32.04 with Temur token control, but I figured the best place to start would be with Eldrazi Ground Spawner. This is the deck that actually inspired me to build the deck that I played today. So, deck builder here is Comics Writer, played it to a 3-1 finish at MPDC 32.03, and had a couple things going for it that I thought were really good. First off, I've been trying to find a deck to build around Pulse of Marasa. I think this card's insane, and if you follow any popper, straight up, Alex Ullman, Nerd to the Core, on Twitter, has been posting that he's been having some success with Temur Tron playing Pulse of Marasa, and the card is just great. Being able to gain 6 life every time you cast it gives you a lot of time against a lot of decks, not even just aggressive ones, and the ability to get back a creature is very, very strong, but sometimes getting back a land is relevant too, with Evolving Wilds in the format. So what do you want to do with Pulse? Well, to me, you want to be casting creatures that have comes into play effects that can repeat. So the best ones are token makers. So Comics used Eyeless Watcher, Scion Summoners, which make a bunch of Scions, which can be used for mana, or 1/1s, which are good. Gear Crafter to make 1/1 flyers. And those were all the token producers that he had that combo with Pulse. He had other token producers. Dragon Fodder, Blister Pod can make more guys, which he comboed with Impact Tremors to deal direct damage, and some removal spells. Other cards that I liked were Collateral Damage. It's basically Lightning Bolt if you have the extra tokens lying around. And in the sideboard, Fiery Conclusion, which in a world filled with Gurmag Angler and a bunch of, just 3, 4, and 5 toughness creatures, having access to this card seems very strong, since you can do it in response to their removal or their trick, and get some value out of some things of yours that would already be dying. It's also a pretty sick combo with a few other cards. So basically I just wanted to make this deck a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more grindy and a little bit more of a control deck and less of an aggro deck that deals damage. So, if we go to the home page today, you can see first place in the event, and this is my deck. Here, I might as well just pop it up on Magic Online. Okay. So here, you notice we're basically just splashing the green. And let's throw this display up. Yeah. So we're just splashing the green for the Pulse and 1 Scion Summoner. Now I had Eyeless Watcher in there for quite a while actually. But it turns out I found a better card for the 4-drop slot. And that is Incubator Drone. Incubator Drone is better because the 2/3 body is pretty relevant. If you play Eyeless Watcher and 4 Eyeless Watcher, you're really susceptible to Arc Lightning and Pyrotechnics and Chandra's Fury and Boiling Earth and Barrage of Boulders in this format, So being able to have one creature that's another, toughness variant so that X1 sweepers don't blow you out is very key. And there's just a lot of 2/2s in the format too. So yeah. Scion Summoner did make the cut as a 1/of because our 3-drops are actually pretty crowded. So I also chose to run the Gear Crafter. But since we're playing blue, Comics only played green-red. But I'm adding blue, and I think the blue cards make this deck really, really good. They kind of combo all together. So Sky Spawner is great. Just another sweet token producer. Incubator Drone, or as my friends like to give me the nickname of Incubator Drone, is solid, very defensive. And you get Treasure Cruise, which is obviously every deck that I'm playing, I'm trying to run Treasure Cruise, and since I don't want to lose the card advantage battle. But this is the real linchpin. I usually like to run one Monastery Lore Master in my sideboard for the grindy matchups, but this card is actually the combo piece with Pulsa Marasa. So the first time you flip Lore Master, you can get back like a removal spell or a Treasure Cruise or something. You don't have to get back a Pulse. But then let's say they kill your guy before you got to unmorph it, or maybe after you got to unmorph it, and they have to deal with your 4/3. If they trade with it or use a removal spell on it, well, then you pulse it back, gain 6 life, recast it, unmorph it, get the pulse back, and then you have a loop going. If they put a pacifism effect on it, then you have 7 main deck sacrifice effects, 4 fire conclusion, 3 collateral damage, to be able to put it in your graveyard so that you can pulse it back. And just, the wheels keep spinning from there, which is pretty great. And so any control deck is going to want 4 Tormenting Voice, 4 Treasure Cruise in these colors so that we can grind out card advantage, discard excess lands, or hit land drops by playing the voice on turn 2, per usual. And other than that, I wouldn't leave home right now without 4 Fiery Impulse. The aggressive decks do exist, and it can kill 3 toughness flyers and stuff, so it's just very efficient removal, especially if you're going to run Treasure Cruise. Yeah. So the deck is a little soft to other token decks in the main game 1, which we'll find out. But we make up for that in the sideboard a little bit, and mainly through the use of Boiling Earth. I find Boiling Earth is the best against tokens. We could run cards like, Arc Lightning or Pyrotechnics, but this is the cheapest and most flexible, because in the late game you can get a really sick 7 drop and, blow the game wide open, rather than just having a, spell that doesn't do anything, or not, sometimes doesn't kill everything, sometimes you get a 4/4 out of it, which is pretty great. Sidisi's Faithful, I was looking for a card that returned other creatures to my hand. The optimal card that I was looking for, but I realized it's not legal, was Peel from Reality, but that was in M15, not Origins, so I would love to be able to, peel, either reset their Delve creature, bounce their token, and then reset my Lore Master or one of my comes into play token makers, like a Sky Spawner, especially in response removal. So Faithful's not quite as good as that, but it serves a dual purpose of being really good as just a 1 mana 0/4 blocker against aggressive decks, and that can buy you a lot of time to let you set up your late game. So this should be in the 3-drop. This should actually be in the 9-drop. I usually don't morph him unless I have the 6 available to unmorph it right away, because you don't want to get it complete disregarded or Touch of the Voided or something like that. But yeah. Other things about the sideboard, we've got some negates and Disdainful Stroke. We can't be loading up on too many counterspells. We're not really like a counterspell heavy deck. We do want some interaction though, basically to keep our opponents honest. I thought this was a Monastery Lore Master. No, it's a Monastery Flock. I even almost confused myself. The whole point of this is kind of to be a bit of a troll. But as you can notice, we are a little soft to flyers. So I wanted to play a morph that I could flip for 1 mana and potentially just blank some removal spells. If they go to Fiery Impulse it or whatever, I just want to get someone, really, since they're always going to think it's a Lore Master. In that same regard, the Bowmaster seems to be pretty great. I expect that I could morph this and then have someone attack me with their, 4/4 or smaller flying creature, and then I get to bang a morph on flip and hopefully eat their guy. And then Lore Master number 2 whenever they have exile effects, or if we think the game's going to go especially long. And same thing in those situations, and just basically my most trusty sideboard options has been to realize that most of my creatures in the main deck die to sweepers and are really small. So bringing in Ruin Processor, this deck doesn't have any way to exile, no Spell Shovels, Touch of the Voids, or anything of the like, but if I know they're playing like Grimag Angler, Tetra Cruise, something like with Delve, that I can get my life gain value off with him, it's pretty great. Also pretty sick combo with Pulsa Marasa to be able to gain 5, get it back, gain 6, recast it, do all sorts of things. Most people should be siding out all of their, Celestial Flares and Bone Splinters and, Oblivion Strikes and the like should mostly come out. Sometimes they can keep some in because they know I could bring cards like this in. But the rest of my deck kind of punishes them for having those cards anyway. So the sideboard is pretty sweet. There isn't too much that I'd like to change about this deck. It's really red intensive in the early game, which is why we have 5 mountain compared to 3 island and only 1 forest. We don't really need double green ever. This card only requires 1, so 1 forest is fine. Getting 7 tap dual lands in red, 6 in green, and 7 in blue is plenty to cover all of our colors, and we shouldn't have too many mana problems unless we run into some very, very, very aggressive decks. But that's the deck. It's Temur, Tron would be the Pauper deck that I would recommend you checking out for Nerd to the Core. This is a little bit different in standard Pauper, so we're just going Temur control tokens. And yeah, that's the deck. Stay tuned. I'll go over the replays for all 5 matches of my SPDC tournament today.